Motormouth Jenkins here, welcoming you to our brand new YouTube channel. Hope that you'll come back and see every segment each and every week, and I will share preventative maintenance tips and regularly scheduled maintenance tips for your car. So whether you know a little bit about your car or absolutely nothing, this is the channel just for you, where I share over 35 years of experience as a qualified and licensed service technician with truck and coach, light truck and passenger vehicles. Come back and visit us and tell your friends, and we'll see you each and every week right here in the Car Connection Workshop on YouTube. Hey, Car Connection fans, thanks for stopping by. We're back with part 2 of Vanna White. She's been resting, kind of semi-retired on the side of the road, so another service call. It's the second one today. We'll be going back to the first one because it's very important to the owner that the CD player and the radio works. And we got to figure out how to reboot it after the battery it's been drained, the car's been boosted, etc., etc. So you'll have to stick around for that 2012 Nissan Altima. I said Maxima, but it's actually an Altima. On this particular one, we're 2010 Dodge Caravan with the 3300. Couple of problems we got. We got communication interruption. I put my scan tool on, and we got communication interruption. First of all, we were dealing with a battery that was low on charge, but we've got corrosion here. This is the main positive terminal. That's got to be cleaned. We've got 2 ground circuits here that need to be cleaned. The terminals are green and gray underneath, so we got to get those off. We got to service those. And we got one nasty one down here, which is actually, let me see if I can use a wrench or something just to hold that wiring up, because this is an ECM ground. That label there is really ticking me off. Is it a mattress label where it says it's illegal to remove this? Because if not, it's going. Down here, right down there, we have another ground circuit, right where my wrench is. Right, in around the battery area. So that's a major ground. That is what they call a CAN bus ground. So we have some electronic boogie monsters in this vehicle, and we need to get busy and start eliminating issues with ground circuits. So on these older Dodges, they suffered ground circuit interruption like crazy, but not a good area to put your fuse panel and put a major CAN bus ground right in around the battery, where there's always acid being shed from a car battery. Even if it says maintenance free, a battery has to vent. Otherwise it'll explode. So you will always have acid residue from a car battery, and what a great place to put all your electronics. It's just like it just boggles my mind that an engineer would say this is a great place to put all the electronics and the ground circuits so they can corrode. I mean, look at how corroded this positive terminal is. This is your main feed for the whole fuse panel. That's the main feed. And where's the ground? The one I just showed you down below here. That's the ground circuit for everything in here. So nice, real nice. Now let's talk about let's talk about another corrosion here. Here's a positive terminal, and this is to the battery, and it's almost broken right through here where the tip of my finger is. You can see it right here. There's a crack right here. This terminal is pretty much done, but we're going to make it work. And let's talk about spark plugs. This has 180,000 kilometers on. The spark plugs have never been out. And I managed to get one, and honest to goodness, I don't know how I got it. But the other 2, I can't even move them, and they're rotten. This is why I talk about, I don't care what salesman says, you can leave these spark plugs in for 200,000, 150,000. This has 180,000. And these spark plugs are rotten right here where my thumb is showing you where the nut portion is, and I'll tell you what happens. If you mess with this the other two, I can't even budge them. You'll snap this top piece off. Now all you have is this to work with. And if you punch the center of this out and put what we call an easy out in there, you have all this material inside the cylinder. And if you decide to just let it go, you're going to blow the engine up, because the piston's going to hit the pieces and smash a hole right through the piston. So this is why I say don't listen to anyone at dealership level, whoever's selling you the car level. This is maintenance. These plugs should have been out of here 110,000 kilometers ago, and it has 180. Yeah, 70,000 K. If you want to know you can get the plugs out, you better darn well get them out and not wait till this. But I want to show you and show you right to the edge of it. This spark plug should have a gap of 44 thousandths of an inch. This is an 80 thousandths of an inch feeler blade. This is 80. That's 80, and I can pull it through. It's supposed to have enough electrode and negative electrode, so that's the positive electrode there coming through the ceramic. This is the negative electrode, so the spark travels down the center of the plug and grounds out here, and that's what makes the spark go to the spark plug. So from the coil down the plug wires to the spark plug. So this is an 80 thousandths of an inch gap easy, probably almost 90. Because I can slip that through there very easy. Now let's go to the size that it's supposed to be. So again, I come back to, if your ears need to be tickled by someone saying things are maintenance free, well, guess what? If you keep that vehicle long enough, you too are going to have this same problem. Because if these plugs snap off, because we can't get them out and the top splits right off of there, that means the cylinder heads have to come off the motor to extract the spark plugs. Did you save any money? Should you be listening to people telling you things are maintenance free? Absolutely not. This is 44 thousandths of an inch. That's what Chrysler calls for to gap the plugs. Look at the gap. It's twice the size. So what happens in this case, when the electrode burns down and that gap gets bigger, the spark will take the path of least resistance. That's how electricity works. So it'll start shooting from the top here, from the positive electrode, it'll ground to the plug, and then you'll have a misfire. But what's worse is you're making the ignition system, this is the coil pack here, this is where the spark comes from, the electricity comes from to make a spark. You're making this module work overtime, and it gets overheated inside and burns the coils out. So this isn't an individual, what we call, it's not a coil over plug system. This has a separate coil pack. That's what this is called. And it's actually a 6-pack. Okay, we'll move on. So when if this spark plug, one of 6, has a gap of 80 plus thousandths of an inch when it should be 44, you're seriously overheating the coil pack, because you have 6 spark plugs with at least an 80 thou gap. So we've got our homework cut out for us to try and get all these spark plugs out, and without snapping a single one off, so we can get some fresh ones in. We have the new ones ready, gapped at 44 thousandths, but we're going to have to play the game. And that is, we're going to have to make sure we clean around the spark plug holes and get all the crud and rust out of there, so we can get some penetrating fluid down there. And we're going to need to run the engine and warm it up, and then apply the penetrating fluid. And then as the engine cools down, hopefully what we can get is we can get the fluid to be drawn in as the engine's cooling off down the threads of the spark plugs. But my deepest concern is not the threads, it's how rotten the spark plugs are. Because this is the weak point, right where I'm putting my finger. Here's the nutted portion, but this is crimped onto the top of the plug, and the ceramic is crimped into the top where the nut is. So we got to play the game and be patient and work at it to get them out. So I'm going to get into the wiring and clean all those connectors up, and then we'll do another segment after that. So thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to, if you want to see more videos, subscribe and follow us on YouTube. Like us, like the videos, put down a comment. That helps us with the algorithm, and it helps us to get Google to send our videos out to more and more and more people, so to spread us out and grow. But don't forget about the notification bell. If you want to watch more videos, hit the notification bell so that you're notified when new videos drop into our YouTube channel. So we put new videos in every week, three every week, 2 for Tuesday, 1 for Friday. And so follow us on Facebook at Niall Motormouth Jenkins. So till next time, happy motoring. Keep it under 100. Put that coffee on. We're going to come to your house.